Ladies and gentlemen!
Oh! Like a fist! Hit him with the fireball. Hit him with this before, dog.
Jesus, it's over!
Oh!
Canadian Destroyer off the top!
She's going to the top, guys!
Nice!
I'm not done yet. Super cold red from the top. Now she's up the top. She hits this, it's over. Oh, that's it. Violets. I like violets. You know I am.
Oh, shit, violence!
Oh, did you hear that?
Yes, he threw the trash can right off Jordan Jenkins' head.
Did you hear that?
What? Oh, shit! What a super kick!
Yeah.
Zay Gage just took IK3's head off. Oh, what a shot!
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
Shit, let's go with.
All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to GWR Gonzo's Wrestling Room, Monday, June 22nd, 2026. I'm Gonzo, joined by Marcus Fine, OG Tony, and Warren Misery. How's it going, guys?
Hey, it's going
good.
Tigers are
Going
rolling.
good. Going good. I was in there about to go to sleep. I just got done eating a 1 pound pork chop, and I couldn't hardly stay
Where's
away.
Pablo? Where's Pablo?
Yeah, he's still around.
Okay. Well, make sure you mistake that 1 pound pork chop for the dog. Make sure.
He don't need about
give
half a pound.
I give him the bone, but he ain't got no teeth, so he couldn't eat it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. We've got quite a bit to cover, and got a great guest host or guest. Got Nerd coming on with us. That's going to be fantastic, as it was last time he was on. So I'm sure it's going to be fun. So Marcus Fine, let's do that independent pro wrestling report.
All righty. Do have some prayers, praises, and birthdays. Let's see. We'll do the prayers first. Please pray for Ref Luigi. He needs prayers. He will be out of action for a while, and that's all the further I'm going with that. Christy West, she used to come around to JICW, WCWO, Warrior Pro. She now lives down in southern Indiana. Her husband was in a car wreck last week. He's doing okay, but just be with them. Beth Kelly and her voice, she's supposed to ring announce on Sunday, and we don't know if that's going to happen at this point. I mean, it sounds like it's getting better, so hopefully she'll be able to do that. If not, maybe we have a replacement sitting in here with us, so we will see how that goes. So, okay, a couple praises. Heather Laster's husband, he still needs prayers, but he did get to come home this past weekend. And congratulations to Mr. and Mrs. Justin Myers is the birth of their son, Patrick James, on Tuesday, June 16th last week. So the baby was finally here. So congratulations to them. Okay, now I have birthdays. Now I wasn't thinking we will not be on next Monday. And so I guess next week, I forgot about that. So next week's birthdays will be done on the 6th of July. So anybody has a birthday next week, I will have them on the 6th of July as a belated, because I forgot we will not be on next Monday. We will be at the Jay County Fair. So, okay, today's birthdays. Caleb from WCWO's birthday's today. Our good buddy Will the Thrill's birthday's today. Saul Marston, JICW's birthday's today. And Warrior Pro Wrestling's David Kraft's birthday's today. Then you got BMFX, Tony Jackson's birthday on the 23rd. Up-and-comer Mark Magnus is on the 24th. Katie from WCWO's is on the 25th. Chuckles the Clown, Wrestling Theology, is on the 25th. Lovely Miss Larkin, the OVW Ladies Champion's birthday is on the 25th. JB's birthday is on the 26th. WCWO Superfan Beth Sloan's birthday is on the 27th.
What's up, House?
Joey Owens' birthday is on the 27th. And Jimmy Carrett's birthday is on the 28th. So happy birthday to all of them. And if you need prayers, we will pray for you. And birthdays to anybody I missed. So happy birthday to all of them. All right.
Hey, real quick, hi Kelly. How's it going, House? Real quick, hey, anybody loves watching podcasts, watching these type shows, wrestling shows. Check out Hollywood House and his gang. They're fantastic. They run shows pretty much every day of the week. So definitely check them out because they're fantastic, fantastic guys.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Next, my good buddy Wes Ryan, WCW Outlaw Arena on Friday. Saw Pharaoh King defeat the Waterboy. Jordan James and Maliko defeated Pogo and Cousin Cooter. ZJK and Jay Steele defeated Brody Botkins and Jake Elliott. The Highlight Reel defeated Juan Sanchez and the WCW Gunslinger champion Phoenix. David Light defeated Zara Rose. Cameron Saturn defeated Austin Shawn. Zay Gates defeated the WCW territorial champion Mike Noble in a non-title match. And it said that Slaughterhouse betrayed JKO, and he is now part of Gabriella Rosewood's stable. So that'll be interesting to get those mean guys on that side. So we'll see. Okay, thanks to Steve Butler, and I know a few other people went to Game Changer Wrestling. The last ones left Fountain Square Theater. I think it was Saturday.
Yes, it was Saturday.
Okay. Hunter Drake defeated Rise Maddox, Cavern Canyon, Logan Gonzo'S. I don't know these people. Jimmy Guerin, Analog in a 6-man scramble. Calvin Takeman pinned Mad Dog Conley. Priscilla Kelly pinned Joey Janela. Alex Price and Jordan Oliver retained the JCW Tag Team titles by defeating the teams of Davey Bang and August Matthews, Terry Yaki and Jay Lucas, and Junie Underwood and Flying Ryan O'Neal in a fatal 4-way tag team match. Vindel 48, I think that's how you say that. The brothers Atticus and Otis Cougar defeated Violence is Forever, and that's Dom Gorini and Kevin Koo. If I'm missing these names up, I apologize. Anakin Murphy pinned Jimmy Lloyd. Shotzi Blackheart defeated Gringo Loco. Dr. Redacted defeated Dale Patricks in a death match of the night. And JCW returns November 7th to Fountain Square. Just so you know how death matches are, Steve did get injured as a fan because of the death match on Saturday. Yeah. Cut his hand all to hell from shrapnel glass or something.
GW Face or Heel and also Gonzo'S Sports Room's own Big Glenn was there, and he sat in the second row. And he wore some goggles. He had some goggles and stuff on for especially for that death match. So he was in second row. But he said that was crazy as hell. We know Dale Patrick's pretty well, great guy, and they put on a hell of a show from what I hear. Unfortunately, my app usually shows Game Changer, and I had it listed, but it never came on, so I couldn't watch it. I planned on watching it, but I know Glenn was thrilled with Shotzi Blackheart's performance and a couple other matches. So Glenn had a great. He said he had a great time, so it was a really good show.
Yeah, Steve did too. So. Miss Katie's in the chat. Again, happy birthday to you. And Justin Danger, what's up?
Hey, Justin.
Okay.
We need to talk Justin Danger. It's time to get you on here. So I will get that. Yep. I will get that worked out. Okay, WCWs, we're back in Frankfort, Indiana, Saturday the 20th. Phoenix defeated Mark Magnus. He retained the WCW Gunslinger title. Jay Steele and ZJK defeated Rampage. David Light defeated Cameron Saturn. WCW Tag Team Champion Slaughterhouse defeated Kenneth James and TJ Powers in a non-title match. Juan Sanchez defeated the WCW Territorial Champion Mike Noble non-title match. Christian Cash defeated Waterboy. Maliko defeated Zay Gates with help from David Light to retain the WCW Outlaw title, and then that match led up to Cameron Saturn and Zay Gates, then defeated the teams of Maliko and David Light and the Highlight Reel in a triple threat tag team match. Very, very good show. Christian Cash come up to me at the end of the show and he says, "Now you got to tell me match of the night." I said, "Don't even go there." He says, "You can't tell me Jay Steele and ZJK and Rampage was a match of the night." I'm sitting there thinking, "So you're right, they was." So if you guys haven't seen Jay Steele and ZJK for somebody who's got less than 6 months or at 6 months,
they're unbelievable.
Those guys are unbelievable. So
yep,
they got a defeat. They defeated Rampage Saturday. They defeated Brody and Jake Elliott on Friday. We've seen them defeat a few people at the Comic-Con. These guys are on fire. I'll be interested to see where they are a year from now. So,
yeah,
that's what I have. But Tony and Chris went over to Juneteenth.
Yes, we was at DCCW at Juneteenth there in Muncie at McCullough Park. Had 4 matches, had one in particular of significance, but started out today. Mike Noble didn't have a very good weekend. Mike Noble took on Eric Onyx first, and he lost to Eric Onyx. Then he was running his mouth and ended up wrestling right after that match, Kurt Bose, and lost again. So Mike Noble didn't have a very good weekend. So, and then from there we went to Christian Cash and Jake Elliott. Jake Elliott defeated Christian Cash and kept his number 1 contendership. That match was for number 1 contendership of the DCCW US title. And then the main event match was the champion Hank Calhoun putting the title up against number 1 contender Zay Gates. And guys, we have a new champion. Zay Gates is the new DCCW heavyweight champion. Won't go into big details, but they're supposed to be having a fairly big show in September. And then from what I gather, I won't give out any names because it's not set in stone, but a lot of talent coming in November at the fairgrounds. Like some really big names that's not been in this area, and some that may have been in this area before, but been many years. So sounds like it could be pretty good. And the September show, a couple of names too that's been around here a little bit before. So so hopefully that all pans out. And it was a pretty good day, Chris. What do you think?
Yeah, it was a good show. Had a good turnout. Big crowd up there at Juneteenth. And once the show started, like always, people started coming over, watching. Hell, at one point, I turned around and there was 4 or 5 little kids standing right behind me and Dad under our canopy while we were doing commentary, watching the show. So yeah, it was a good turnout. It was great to see Zay finally get that title. I think it's deserved. So yeah, I thought it was a good day.
Yeah, Rampage came out with Zay and walked him to the ring. So Rampage was good guys in Muncie. So that was an interesting dynamic.
Well, maybe they all hate Mike. They all hate Hank. So what the hell?
Well, anybody wrestle Mike Nobles, it's a good guy too. So you know how that goes.
And weather-wise was perfect. Like it wasn't too hot, it wasn't cold. Little windy. There was a little bit of wind, but other than that, weather was perfect.
And as far as the Juneteenth, man, that may have been the biggest crowd Juneteenth has had. It was huge. It was a huge crowd there, and I know it got busier after we left.
Well,
so, yeah.
After I took you home, when I went back up there, it just kept getting busier. Then they also still had baseball games going on back there at the baseball diamond, because I sat back there for a little bit. I think I watched at least an inning, maybe 2 innings of a game, and then I walked back the other way. But yeah, there was any part of that park there was there was pretty much people. It was
it's busy as I've seen it. So it was Juneteenth did an excellent job. I thought DCCW did a good job too. So pretty good weekend. Marcus, you got anything else?
Zay brought the belt over to Frankfurt, and of course there's a picture of me as Zay. I was really hoping he beat Malenko. I thought, damn, do you imagine if Zay walked in and took 2 world titles in one day?
That'd been some.
Take it off Hank and then take it off Malenko as well. And it's like, oh man, that would be just so. But it didn't happen. Thanks to that David Light, but it was still a good show in Frankfurt. Maybe 80, I'm thinking.
Okay.
So it's not bad for summer.
Yeah, that's true. That a lot of stuff going on that weekend. So, and like I said, summer, a lot of people busy. Do have a question for you, Marcus. You said on the results, I can't remember if it was from the Frankfurt show or it may have been Frankfurt. It could have been the regular WCW show. Somebody turned on Joey. Was it
Slaughterhouse turned on Joey.
Okay. That's what I thought you said.
Wes told me to make sure to emphasize that Slaughterhouse turned on Joey Friday night.
Okay.
So
things are getting interesting.
The one thing I picked up from the whole wrestling report is there's a wrestler named Teriyaki.
Yes, I've seen him wrestle before in Game Changer.
His finisher isn't like
how you say that?
Hibachi. I mean, come on, you're missing out. Teriyaki.
Teriyaki, yeah, that's how they say it too. Teriyaki.
That's
Okay, well, I
genius.
apologize for messing that up.
You did.
Well, it's really, that's what it is. It's really supposed to be like you said, Marcus, Terry, but they pronounce it teriyaki. I mean, that's how they
Well, I would
pronounce
have pronounced it like that if I read into it a little harder.
It really is teriyaki, but they're announcing them during the matches and stuff. They call them teriyaki.
Oh,
so
that's great.
yeah, I've seen him wrestle a few times. He wrestled quite a bit for Game Changer.
Cross-faced chicken wing, is that his finisher? The teriyaki chicken? Like,
No, it should be. It should be. And we've seen Chris. We've seen a crossfade or not a crossfade, but we've seen a double chicken wing this weekend.
Noble.
Yeah, put in a double chicken wing. That was something different. So we had a good time. So
Kelly worked the merch table. Kelly worked the merch table. So I had the honor of sitting with the promoter from NGW, Larry Poffo, and I watched the matches together and critiqued them, and might be seeing some new people at NGW here one of these days too. So,
okay, cool. A lot of good talent, especially with WCWO. So yeah. You guys got anything else before we bring in our guest?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, let's bring in our special guest. Marcus, I'll let you introduce him. The full name.
Oh, that's why you're doing it, because you forgot what the East is for.
I remember. That's why I pawned it off on you.
All right. We are honored to have Kelly's wrestling boyfriend, Nelson Edwin Robert Doolittle the Fifth, back in the house tonight. Last week, Nelson, Mr. Nerd, we did talk about you groping.
What'd you just call me?
Mr. Nerd.
Don't ever call me that again. You understand me? Establish that right here and right now. Understand?
Okay. Tell me how you want addressed.
Nelson. How would you like to address Marcus?
Nelson.
Thank you.
We talked to Mr. Kong last week about you groping old boogeyman. So
what did you say to that man?
Well, you gotta talk to him. You gotta talk to him.
I'm not gonna talk to him ever. You understand me?
That's what he said too.
But that monster's not gonna talk to anybody. I'm gonna be the hero everybody needs and put him out of his misery once and for all.
Well, how are you doing, Nelson? You doing good? Doing good this evening?
Am I doing good? I'm doing a lot better than you are, if that's what you're asking. Yes.
I believe that.
A lot better than you'll ever be. So let's get that established right now.
Okay. I hope you're doing better than I am.
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Well, guys, you guys got some questions? I got a few questions for him. My first one, I'm gonna hold that one because I already know he's already in kind of a mood about Congo Kong, so I'm gonna hold that one. So my question is, and this is for you guys too, and it's a little bit different perspective for us because he's definitely a lot more involved in the wrestling business than I know me or Chris or Marcus is. Now I know Marcus behind the scenes a little bit. Now Warren's behind the scenes quite a bit, so he may have a little bit different take than me, Marcus, or Chris. But I seen this question online the other day. What is the number one reason why local independent wrestlers don't succeed? Nelson, what's your take on that, or do you have one?
I don't know. I guess it's just they don't have the. I think everyone has the ability to succeed if they have the will and the opportunity. Not everyone's given that. However, I think, not everybody deserves that as well. So I think, with everything, in life, you earn what you deserve. So I think if you work hard, you do what you need to do, you do what's necessary, you meet the right people, you make the right connections. I think anything's possible in this business. I think you can go as far as you want to go in this business.
Okay. I'll go to Warren next because Warren's is involved behind the scenes some. Also a big fan, and also does some commentary and ring announce. Warren does it all pretty much.
Oh, hodgepodge. No, I mean, yeah, Nelson's not very far off from that. I mean, there's things too. I mean, I think sometimes some guys get in their own way. They feel that maybe they should be given more than where they're at, or they don't want to put in as much as they need to do. And also, I think maybe you get some promoters that maybe or can be a little more favoritism or maybe show jealousy. Maybe they don't want to highlight this guy even though he's good. Could be sort of held down. And I mean, but also it is, like I said, it's they get in their own way. That maybe they don't understand, that you've got to work, you've got to put in your time, you've got to be courteous to everyone, you've got to listen to your veterans, you've got to, just a lot. I think that's what could hold some guys down. They could have, like I said, all the talent in the world. What's that phrase? The $10 steak and the penny brain or whatever it is. They've got it all, but mentally they're just in their way.
Okay. Marcus.
All right. Well, now you got me a list. See, you give me time to write a list. And I've seen it. So this is all from actual observations. For one, they think when their training is done and that's it. They think now they're the world's greatest thing that ever walked the face of the earth. They stop training. They stop paying dues. They don't think they have to help do anything but come in, wrestle, and go home. So as Warren and Nelson both said, their mindset, it kind of fits into the same place that, I'm better than everybody, but they're not, they reject criticism. And they get cocky. I've seen so many people just so cocky about stuff. They all think they need to hold a title. And if they don't hold a title, they don't want to work nobody. So, and you got people who forget where they came from. And then they decide they're not going to work people because they think they're above them. So I've seen it. I've heard it. So, and I'm not naming names, but I think we can fill in the blanks on all those.
Chris, what's your perspective on that?
I agree with a lot of what Nelson and Warren said. I think they're pretty much spot on. I think it's a lot of it is ego. Some people let their ego get in the way, and like Marcus said, they don't keep training, or you only see them maybe once a month. You see some of these guys at all kinds of shows, and there's others you only see. I think I agree with Nelson. It's one of them things you get what you put in it, and for the most part, if you talk to these guys, the guys that put everything in it, they usually get rewarded. Is always being on TV? No, but they have success on the independent scene and are everywhere. Whereas I think that the guys that just have the ego or that think that they've already made it, I think they're the ones that kind of struggle.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. I think a lot of them, and of course it's different because a lot of them not working TV and that type of thing. But you got to be able to adapt, and you got to be able to learn your audience. I have confidence that Nelson could go any town and get the job done. What he's trying to do, work a crowd and be what he's trying to be. But there's a lot of wrestlers that can't do that right now because they're not able to adapt. And I think, and if you're just a one-trick pony, I think it's going to, unless you just are just outstanding in some regards, whether it's size or personality or something, it's going to be very hard to make it in this industry. So you got to be able to adapt, and you got to be able to find a niche. A perfect example. Danhausen. Is Danhausen a great wrestler? No, but is he as over as anybody can be right now? Yes. So you got to find that angle because there's a lot of people. There's a lot of big, and I don't want anybody to take this in the wrong way. There's a lot of big wrestlers, a lot of big guys. There's a lot of guys who can do 1,000 moves. So you got to find something that's different. And also be able to adapt with that character. So, and plus, there's I don't mean this in a negatory way, but there's just so many wrestlers out there with so different forms of training, and there's some of them that are not trying to make it. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Me and Chris and Marcus go out and do announcing and do shows and stuff. I'm not saying that we would turn down if WWE come knocking on our door. I don't think they're going to be coming or knocking on our door. And it's not really a go for us.
Hey, wait a minute, somebody's on
the door. But that's not why we're doing it. So I'm not saying there's anything with a guy who wants to just be a weekend warrior and go out perform, and that's his dream come true. There's nothing. I don't want anybody to take that the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with that. But the ones that aren't there trying to make it, they really are trying to make it to the next level. You got to be able to adapt. And like you said, I don't think championships is where it's at. Having a title don't make you great. So that's just my opinion.
Can I add?
I think a lot of it from just being, like I said, from being around like we have. I'm not a pro wrestler, so I'm not always backstage, but I think you see a lot of guys that they do. If you see them on one show, one of their matches, you've seen all their matches, and then we'll see him at one. We might see the same guy at 6 shows, and by the time we see him at the 4th, 5th show, I can tell you everything that's going to happen in that match because it's the same match. Where you get other guys that aren't like that. I can watch, for example, and I'm not just saying this because here we've seen Nelson at 1,000 different shows, and it's different every time. Yeah, he does his character, but it's not the same 3 moves and this, and it switches up. I think a lot of guys get caught in that where they get comfortable and just are basically doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah. Marcus, you had something?
Yeah, you're a perfect example of the way I feel you should. If you want to watch one wrestler on the independent scene to get where you need to be, you need to watch Mike Noble. That guy is there when they open the doors to set up the ring, and he's one of the last people out. He sets up the ring. He does his job. The guy's wonderful. And like Chris said, how many times have we seen Noble? How many different Noble matches have we seen?
And you don't feel like you're watching the same match over and over.
He knows. I mean, and Noble is doing it right now. So, and there's others out there. That's just the one that comes to my mind. So,
and another thing kind of goes back to when I was talking about ego. The wrestling business, especially in the wrestling business, it's a business where you can't let your ego burn bridges. Because a lot of the wrestling business, and Nelson, tell me if I'm wrong, but it's about having connections. You make those connections, and that's how you can move to different companies and stuff. And if you burn bridges, you don't get those connections. So I think that's one thing you see is people let their egos cost them some connections by burning bridges.
Nelson, is it hard to make connections?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's hard to make connections. I think it's easy to make connections. I think people will naturally flock to you. If you have, what they're looking for, as far as like commitment and talent and, overall, just not just respect for the, industry and, for what we do, but, just overall effort. There's a lot of guys, in this industry that, take what we have for granted. And, a lot of people can see through that. And like I said, people will naturally flock to you if they see that, they, see something in you that, they kind of respect, if that makes any kind of sense from a backstage perspective.
I think too, another thing to sort of process too was some of the talent, and like, I'm sort of this way. I don't know about Nelson or any of you guys are watching. Is you sort of also got to be very protective of yourself and what you've made. You don't want to be just that guy that's going to come out and just let every promoter say, well, just take losses, and do this and do. We build who we are, and we still have to have that fine line of protecting that part of what we've made and how we are as individuals and characters and what we want to put out, and to what to where we're not getting shattered and just becoming another face in the crowd because that's how it is. It's like you got to find that real fine line of understanding and working with a promoter and say, hey, I like what you want, but I got this, and I sort of it's such a fine line between that too. And I think that's something to think about. You got to protect your brand. You don't want to be that guy that every time they come out, they're like, it's the broken brawler. He's going to lose every single time.
Yeah, but I think talent speaks for itself as well. If you're truly talented, that will outshine anything else, So through the talent, and through the charisma and everything else, I think that's what ultimately is what's going to shine. If you win or lose, that's great. However, I think what a promoter's ultimately looking for is stuff outside of that. And no disrespect to what you're saying, because I also agree with what you're saying too, because you do need to protect your brand to a certain extent. But ultimately, I think in a certain way, you can make any kind of situation work if you do it the correct way.
And see, that's to say though that, you know, an individual like yourself, you understand that these other guys that aren't making it, they don't get that. They don't understand. You know, they're going to be just so hardcore, it's like not wanting to bend and make it work. They're just like, this is how I want to be because this is who I am. Whereas, you know, you said you find that fine line, and, you know, I think, you know, like I said, that's why some of those guys don't make it, because they are so hard lined, for lack of a better word, where, like I said, they're not going to think and work with their opponent and try, how can we make this really awesome so the fans love it?
Bingo.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, 100%. And with fans, it's weird because I see so many, Warren and all you guys, I know you guys see online, everybody just bitching and complaining because this wrestler loses, or this wrestler shouldn't have lost, or he's not being pushed enough, and all this stuff. To me, when I watch a show, wins and losses don't matter. I mean, it really don't. I want to be entertained. And if it's Danhausen or Tozawa or Otis, or whoever it is can entertain me, and wins, I'm not saying wins don't matter at all. Of course they do. I mean, you're going to have champions and stuff, but you don't have to be you don't have to be there's only going to be so many guys that's going to hold that championship title. So you got to find a way to make your way in different ways.
Right now, one of the outside of the WWE and Danhausen, Leo Rush.
Yep. 100%.
Leo Rush, what he has done. At first, when I first saw it, I was like, what? But as he stuck with it and he committed, like, it's freaking entertaining now. I mean,
yes, it is.
It's a fun thing to watch, you know. And like I said, he's not a main eventer. He's just taken this whole new concept and made it really fun. And he's got eyes on him now again.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And Danhausen's a genius. I mean, look how over he is, and he ain't putting no wear and tear on his body.
Has he even wrestled an actual match yet?
He's had like one or two. He's had a couple since he's been like he's over selling all this merch and just getting bigger and bigger and putting no wear and tear on his body. He's a genius.
You know what? I watched him in Ring of Honor, and, you know, he's a Michigan guy, so I watched him some of the stuff, and it's always been there. He just never had that platform, and he's now on that ultimate platform, and people are seeing what he has done for years and all of his hard work. That is the prime example of a guy just plying your trade, working, grinding, and getting there, and now it's just paying off in spades.
And he's starting to transcend just wrestling too, because like ESPN had him. He's all over ESPN nowadays.
Yep. And
then McAfee had him on during the NBA Finals during the Knicks game. So like, yeah, you're seeing him do sports, and he sit down with Stephen A. Smith on his show. Like, he's everywhere now.
Yeah, and that's part of it, being in the right place at the right time. Everybody said, well, AEW screwed up with Danhausen. That wasn't the right place for Danhausen. Ricochet went to AEW. That's a better place for him than what WWE was. What WWE was doing at that last couple of years with Ricochet and way they were doing their business, that was not a good place for Ricochet. So it was best for him. He's going to make more money and get more opportunity. So it's going to the places where you can be highlighted. And why be somewhere if they're not going to use you? You know, unless you're just there for a paycheck. Now that, you know.
Yeah.
Okay. I had another question real quick, and then I'll let you guys ask them. Do you prefer to call a match in the ring, or would you rather pretty much map it out behind the scenes before the match? Well, how do you prefer, Nelson?
Man, I don't like talking about all this kind of stuff. But you know, I got you guys. What I like to do is I like to have like a beginning, middle, end. Basically, I'll talk about, I'm like, all right, what do you like to do? You know what I mean? And then pretty much everything else, I like to kind of feel out there. And a lot of times if a guy's like, especially like if you're dealing with like an old timer kind of guy, like a Bobo Brazil type or something like that, you're not gonna call a single thing. And I almost like that even more because it's fun, because you're gonna go out there like, I have no idea what's gonna happen. And I swear to God, my favorite finish of all time was like him and his wife were able to hit me or whatever, and I thought it was really funny. didn't like the finish necessarily myself personally, but like looking back on it retrospectively, I thought it was funny. And you're not going to call that, you know what I mean, anything like that. You know, you just kind of feel those kind of moments. And in my opinion, that's what's going to make this art, you know. And I'm not trying to go on a rant or anything like that, but professional wrestling, in my opinion, is missing the art aspect out of what we do. I think, you know, a lot of times, you know, you're gonna find, you know, the beauty in things is kind of just presented to you on a silver platter. You know, I feel like God gives us things, you know, at times, and you either take it or you don't. And a lot of times you don't even know what it's going to be until it's presented to you, you know? So I think a little bit of mixture of both is best. But calling it on the fly is always fun because you never know what you're going to get. And makes the art better.
Warren, do you have a preference? What I mean, you've been behind the scenes. What do you think's better, or do you, or does it make a difference?
I really, from what I've seen backstage, what I've seen from a lot of the guys doing, and a lot of stuff, guys and ladies, I should say, it really depends on the talent. You know, some guys are more comfortable wanting to have it all. Other guys are way comfortable calling on the fly, getting the feel. And, you know, it's really, I don't think there's one way it's better than the other. It's really just on how the talent feels, how a talent's been brought up and trained.
Yep.
And how you're in the ring and what you want to achieve. You know, if you're wanting to have, you know, like a match where it's not so important with the moves and what goes on, it's just sort of like an entertaining match, like a Danhausen type match, you probably call it on the fly more. And just like, well, because you want to feel the crowd, you want to get and see how that is. What's, you know, okay, you know, they're not into it. We need to switch this up. Let's do that, you know, and to work. But if it's something where it's more of a solid, want to be technical and have this very particular outcome, you probably call it and get it all set up. But I just said it really depends on the talent, what makes them comfortable, because I feel that's what shows in the ring. If the talent is comfortable in the ring with each other, then the match is gonna sparkle and shine.
Good.
If they're not comfortable in that ring, you're gonna see botches. You're gonna see just stuff that isn't gonna mesh.
Marcus, as a fan, do you think you can tell?
Oh yeah.
If can you?
Oh yeah, you can tell when they rehearsed it and one of them forgot where they're at.
Okay.
You can tell because it just kind of stops. I mean, I've seen it doing commentary when you're actually studying the show. I have actually seen where I knew what they were supposed to be doing, and you could tell the one person got lost. So some people should not be scripting their match. They should be letting somebody call it for them because they won't remember it anyway. They're more worried about remembering than putting on the show.
Yep.
So,
Well, I think what he said, perfect. If you have a beginning, a middle, and the end, and then you just fill in to me, that seems like makes more sense to me. Somebody that's never done it and never going to do it, that makes sense. You know, hey, if I know what the start is, I know what the finish is, maybe know the middle, whatever, but we can fill it in. That makes a lot of sense to me.
What's that?
Chris?
No, let's go. Okay, let me go back. Can I add on? We'll go back to the Dick the Bruiser days. You could not call matches. You had to call matches in Dick the Bruiser days. They were in separate locker rooms, in separate parts of the building. There was no getting together and decide what you're going to do because
true and not true. Well, I don't know how far you're going back, Marcus, because I remember AWA the first time the Road Warriors were going to wrestle Bruiser and Crusher. I'm sure you've heard this famous story where Bruiser and Crusher said, "I'm going to tell you guys right now, we're not going off our feet. You're not picking us up and pressing us and body slam. Ain't going to be none of that bullshit. We're staying on our feet."
That's about the only thing that was said about that match.
Probably. And the first thing that the Road Warriors did was pick both of them up and press them and body slam them. And they said Bruiser Crusher was pissed. But they weren't supposed to go out together and be seen back in the old days.
So they had to call
after a show. Yeah.
I mean, TJ Powers will tell you that. Don't. You're not going to tell me what you're going to do. We'll figure that out when we get in the ring.
I almost prefer it that way. It's more fun.
Yeah. Chris, did you have a take on that?
No, really. I agree with what you guys are saying. I think I agree with Marcus. You can there's times you can tell if they have it planned out or if they're calling it. And I agree. A lot of it just depends on if a guy's comfortable or not. Yeah, because you see some guys get in there and, like Marcus said, they'll look lost. But if you can see them in another match where you can tell that the veteran is kind of calling the match and leading it, and they look a lot more comfortable. So, yeah, I think it's all just about what the guy's comfortable with. And I do agree having, like Nerd said, kind of an outline where you kind of know the beginning, middle, and end, and then you just filling it in and going from there. That, to me, that sounds like a good plan.
Yeah.
Suppose that.
Most definitely. Marcus, you got a question for
No. Go ahead, put Kelly's little thing.
Okay.
He needs to go.
Well, we already know the answer.
Well, I know, but she wants to hear it. She's not even in there right now.
Can you see him?
You're not just a fan. You're family. I love you. This is Kelly Fine. That is my favorite person on earth. So if anyone disrespects
shit.
I didn't do me personally, so I'd reconsider that.
Oh Lord, that's awesome. What are you doing, Chris?
I love Kelly. Period.
I was trying to make him full screen, and I hit the wrong button.
It made him disappear.
We got him back in time. He made his point.
Yeah, we did.
His point is made.
Kelly's had my back since day one. A lot longer than a lot of these other people out here. So I don't want to hear anything from these people. You understand me?
Yep. I agree. Marcus, you got a question for Nelson?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I do. Chris, show the photo. I had to dig it out of the archives.
What photo?
This is the day that the relationship between you and Kelly started. You guys are coming up on 4 years in November.
Okay.
That was your debut at the Deb. The first thing you did was flirt with Kelly, and now look where you're at now. Did you ever think you two would literally work the state and Illinois, put on this show you two do so well?
Well, I got news for you. They don't call it chemistry for any reason other than the fact that it's pure chemistry. It's just science. It just happens. All right? Tell me how you explain 2 + 2. Go ahead. I'm waiting. Explain it to me. All right? That's what I'm telling you. You just don't question certain things. It just is. All right? Why does the sun come up every day? Tell me. Go ahead. I'm waiting.
Well, what I think is funny is I've talked to a few referees that did not know the two of you do what you two do.
What is it that we do exactly?
You're standing out there. You get the kid and piss off the rest of the
woman. You understand me?
I got you. Hey, I'm not fighting you. That's my boyfriend. Have at it. So.
Oh Lord.
Okay. So can I go? Can I add the second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So
I'm listening.
Tell us about, because I know you rub people wrong a lot of places. Tell us your interesting fan interactions, because I know you've been slapped a few times. And tell us how it is from like crowd to crowd, arena to arena. But I know
you're honestly touching on a little bit of a sore subject for me. I'm not even kidding you. I literally was like assaulted this weekend by some fan. And I don't know. I'm getting a little bit tired of it, and I don't know. Like I'm not even like joking here. Like I'm literally being serious. Like I really don't like that. Like like I'm out here like trying to entertain people. I'm out here trying to I'm putting myself out there. And I understand that what I do is very egregious, and I understand that I'm a larger than life character at times. And I can be very, out there, and I can be very, mean, for lack of better words. I'm just saying, I really don't appreciate that, because I'm trying to have fun with you people, and I'm trying to, I don't know. I don't know exactly what you want out of me, but I don't want you to hit me. I don't want you to slap me. I don't want you to. You can say whatever you want to me. You can call me whatever you want. You can say whatever you want to me, literally whatever you want to me. I don't care. But the minute you put hands on me, then it puts me in a position of, all right, do I, I have all these things going in my head of like, what do I do? So, and I don't mean to, go off on this, but I'm just saying this literally just happened to me, and it's starting to bring me to a point of like, what do I do about this? So, just PSA, don't put your hands on me, please. I don't know what else to say.
So you had a fan put their hands on you this weekend?
Yeah, I did.
That's crazy.
And to their credit, they did apologize, and like I said, I understand. What I'm saying to you is not nice. I understand what I'm saying to you is stuff you probably never heard before. I understand what I'm saying to you is probably the truth, and I understand that the truth hurts. However, that does not give you the right to assault me. Okay? You can hope and pray it's not going to work, but you can hope and pray that the other guy in the ring is going to do whatever you want to me. However, like I said, you can hope and pray, but again, do not put your hands on me. You're at a wrestling show. I don't understand how you can't understand it. It's a show, and I'm a performer trying to entertain you. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. I don't understand how any fan would think it's okay to put their hands on you or any other wrestler. And I know it's happened before. I mean, you're not the only one. So yeah, but it don't make any sense to me. You're there. You're paying money to have a good time, and hopefully you're going in. Maybe some fans don't want to be a part of the show. I don't know. But maybe you could have a fan that's never been at a show that's been part of the show. So maybe they're just caught so off guard, but that's still no excuse to put their hands on a wrestler, because the problem is if you put your hands back on them, then they're going to want to try to press charges on you probably. So
as I was saying, a fan puts their hands on the wrong wrestler. Like Gerd just said, when it happens, you got a lot of things running through your mind. Do I need to protect myself? I mean, I can imagine all the different things. So you do it to the wrong wrestler that don't think, that just reacts. You could be in a world of hurting.
Well, there's going to be some wrestlers, if you punch, that I guarantee you, you're going to get punched back. I mean, right or wrong. That's I mean, that's going to happen. And then
you got to understand what we're put in a position as entertainers. Okay, we don't know what these people are, what they're thinking in their head or what they're going through in life. You know what I mean? We're there to entertain you. We're there to take you away from all the stuff you got going on. All the problems in the world is supposed to be put on me. All right, I'm your problem for the moment. All right, I'm your problem. All right, you want a problem? I got something for you. All right. And then you can hope and pray that, you got a problem solver waiting for me. But I got news for you. It's not going to happen because I'm life. All right. I'm going to keep getting you. All right. So that's the point, is that we're put in a position, you know what I mean? Where what's the word I'm looking for lack of a better word, like we're exposed. Okay. So I'm out there in my freaking underwear. Okay. And you got people out here. I don't know if they got a weapon on them. I don't know if they got a knife. I don't know if they got a gun. All right. Okay. Just because I'm more attractive than you, just because I have a better life than you, just because I'm doing what you wish you could do and you don't have the guts to do it, doesn't give you the right to assault me or anyone else for that matter. Okay. We're trying to put on a show for you. Okay. I'm trying to beat my opponent in the ring to let them know that I wish that I could do to them what I'm doing to them. I wish I could do to you, but I'm not going to do to you. Okay, so I'm going to take my anger out on you, onto them. So just like how you have anger onto me, let my opponent take that out on me. Okay, don't let them don't you take that into your own hands. All right, PSA.
100%. Warren, you got a question for Nelson?
Yeah, well, a question for all of us, and it is because of our honorable guest, Nelson. What do all of you feel is some of the best ring entrance attire that you've ever seen? I'm talking individuals in history, like the guys that come out the ring that have just some of the best. Because Nelson has some of the best ring attire that I've seen him come out to. I've never seen that originality. So what's some of the other ring attire that you've seen in time that you consider some of the best?
Me or anyone? I'm sorry.
I mean, all of you guys. I mean, and I'm talking like in the big leagues of all time.
Nelson, you go ahead and go first.
Me Me personally, Ric Flair is immediately what comes to mind. I don't think anyone else would disagree with that. I mean, he went into debt, to make sure that happened. So yeah, I would say Ric Flair for sure. I think when it comes to it doesn't always necessarily mean attire too. Sometimes it could be, like a limousine with JBL or, with a lowrider with Eddie Guerrero. You know what I mean? Sometimes it could be even fireworks, a certain kind of different kind of thing. I think it all kind of matters if it means you. And I think different kind of personalities require different things. You know what I mean? When I saw Batista, I loved his fireworks with his machine guns and all that good stuff. John Cena didn't necessarily need any kind of fireworks. He just came out and he was the fireworks. You know what I mean? But Eddie kind of, and Ric Flair coming out with his robes and all that kind of stuff, it added the flair to him. You know what I mean? Triple H with his water bottle, you know what I mean? Coming out, with all that. It all kind of adds to your personality. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a certain wardrobe. Because I see certain guys, they're like, well, if I had this or if I do that, maybe that'll get me more over with the crowd. It's like, no. The answer is within, okay? The answer is you. Whatever is going to stick out for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be an entrance gear or an entrance whatever, but it has to be whatever for you, for your personality. But yeah, for as far as costumes go, I'd say Ric Flair.
Well, I don't know if he was the first, but of course, Gorgeous George. Because this is back in the 50s at least, when Gorgeous George was doing it, and it was just so different, and the crowd just hated him so much. So that's one that came to mind. Then there's another one, Marcus. I can't think of his name, but for some reason I can remember his valet's name, Miss Linda. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Adrian Street, Exotic.
Yes, Adrian Street. Exotic Adrian Street. That's another one that was just so different and so out there that really got to me. And then them are the main two for me. Chris, what about you?
Of course, I agree. Ric Flair, Ric Flair, like he says, was one of them from my age that started it all. But another one would be Mick Foley. It's like you had the Mankind, and then you had Dude Love, and
Cactus Jack.
Hell, just the Cactus Jack shirt became iconic, and then like the barbed wire bat and stuff. So I'd put Mick Foley. Undertaker with him wasn't really his attire, but like soon as you heard the dong, like the entrance, soon as you heard that dong and the lights go off, like that was something that boom, you knew it was the Undertaker.
Yep. Marcus, what about you?
Well, at first I put Shockmaster and Kevin Nash's Oz gimmick, but I know you said. Okay, well, Chris said Undertaker. Every one of his Undertaker personas just had it. Because first time I seen him, but he wasn't really even the Undertaker yet, because I seen 3 months after he debuted, and he still put goosebumps on me, and he hadn't even developed the character really yet. So I also had Adrian Adonis when he transferred over to the flower shop gimmick.
Yep.
Walking out there, Piper coming out with bagpipes. I mean, they all had their own little interesting ways of, and even though I don't care for Rock and Roll Buck Zumhofe because of his very bad past, but he's the first guy that ever came to the ring with a boombox.
Yeah,
he really carried his own entrance music with him. So that's just a few that I could think of. I mean,
Warren, what about you?
Doolitle the Butcher. I mean, he come out with that Sheik gimmick or that
raw chicken.
Well, yeah. Bruiser Brody would come out with that damn chain, and he'd sling that damn chain around. I remember that, yeah, and I remember seeing him doing that in Texas. Warren, what about you?
There's one I'm surprised none of you hit on. Road Warriors.
Yep.
The Road Warriors were because it was
so different.
It was even the early on, even to the near the end, just the shoulder pads are iconic. The haircuts were iconic. It was just something that you knew when they came out. And then another guy that it always comes to mind was Macho Man Randy Savage. Those massive, just those huge capes just coming out, and it was just the spectacle of him. Just you were just in awe of like how cool these capes were that he had. And when he was the Macho King, he just had that.
And the
It
hat.
really blends into what Nelson said. It was him. It was, this is me. I am the Macho Man. This is adore this and take this in. You know, that's, and you know, like I said, that spot on with what Nelson said. And you know, those are a couple that really just stand out. But you know, it really is. You know, you talk about some of those other guys. You know, you had so many different kinds. Surfer Sting had this persona about him when he come out with the flashy little short jackets and just the paint, and you're just like, and help bring in what you're going on with. And you talk about, you know, the 90s, the Attitude Era. You had just Austin with just the plain, you know, Chris, the leather vest. You know, how many
trunks.
Raw, and you wanted to see what was on his vest because he always had something.
Yep.
Well, another one that was crazy, and what was crazy about this guy, this was later in his career, really, in a way, the Boogie Woogie Man, Jimmy Valiant. I mean, he came out to that song, Boy from New York City.
New York City.
Yeah, he came out to that song, and this was later in his career because he had been around for a long time before that.
Oh, that's what he was doing the last 3 times I've seen him. That's the song he came out to. So.
Yeah. So that, I mean, that was crazy. He'd come to the ring and always be going around the ring dancing and singing, and then he would a lot of times kiss the ring announcers or the commentary people. He was just crazy.
Well, Kelly's got a few kisses from Boogie, so
okay.
I mean,
okay.
You see,
Hey, don't piss Nelson off now.
You say you're gonna piss Nelson
go
off?
ahead, don't take on Boogie Woogie Man. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see a match between Nelson and the Boogie Woogie Man. To be honest with you,
I dominate him, no problem.
A couple other, you know, another set of tag teams, the Wild Samoans and the Head Shrinkers. You know, just that coming out, and that, you know, because not only was it had an intimidating factor, but it represented them. It represented their culture, their family, and it was something that like you remember. You know, like you know, just seeing all this amazing stuff.
yeah, Papa Shango.
Yes.
Think of that. But
Yes.
that's
Oh yeah, Papa Shango. Yeah, the first time seeing Captain Lou Albano, I had never seen anybody like that before. The very first time I seen him come on my TV screen, I'm like, "What the hell is this?" You know, I mean, you know, I mean, I'd never seen anybody like that before. I mean, you got rubber bands coming out of your face. I mean, you know, it was definitely different. Okay, Chris, you got a question for Nelson or for all of us?
I don't know.
Let's
I
go.
didn't really think of one for all of us.
Hurry up.
Well, it could be just be for Nelson. Then.
All right, for Nelson, what's the hardest thing when you go, you're going to all the on the independent scene, going to the different venues? Sometimes you work wrestlers you've never worked with, and we were just talking about chemistry. How hard is it to have that chemistry with somebody when you got to make it happen? Just boom, when you've never worked with them before, and you guys don't really have a feel for each other.
Generally it's not too hard as long as like the guy is cool, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of times, you know, you'll get there and, you know, people are understanding the backgrounds of everything, you know, so I think you know, as long as you're not like you know, let's put it this way, like for lack of better words, like a hard to work with kind of person, you know what I mean? Then you're not gonna really have too many issues, you know what I mean? We all know what we signed up for. We all know how dangerous this is, and we all know what we risk when we go out there. So I think anyone that, you know, has been through the training and, you know, has been through, you know, what we, for lack of a better word, you know, what we, you know, for the Ring of Fire, you know what I mean? So that, you know, they are professional, you know. Once you know that you're working with a professional, then you don't really have too much to worry about because we all know what's at stake, basically.
Okay. I got my last question, and then these guys can ask more or whatever. My last one was, I'd like to get your thoughts on Congo Kong.
What do you mean? You'd like to get my thoughts on Congo Kong? What do you mean?
Whatever you got to say about, you got anything to say about Congo Kong? Good, bad, and different?
Well, talk about stirring the pot, Tony.
Did Tony just sign his death warrant?
What did Congo Kong say to you? That's what I want to know. What did he say to you?
Honestly, he
said?
did. But be completely honest, I think everything that he said about Nelson was positive and good. If I remember correctly, am I remembering that right, Marcus?
Pretty much.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think he said anything
Well, he said
negative
he had
about
to
Nelson.
knock some sense into you with the Christmas tree the one time and throw you
Yeah,
down.
he
the
did say
steps
that. He
and throw you
he
down
did
those
say
stairs
that.
because you wouldn't pay attention or something. I don't know, something like that. But
We're not going to worry about those so much. But what were those nice things that he was saying? Let me hear about those.
he said he traded you well with Flirt with Kelly.
Well,
He says, I
what
traded you
else?
well.
What'd he say?
He said he
If
trained
I
you
remember,
well.
He
I
trained
don't
me
know if
well.
this was. I don't know if he said this was an exact quote, but I think in so many words he said you was a great talent.
He said that all about me?
And yeah, I'm not gonna say that's a quote, but in so many words, he said you was a fantastic talent.
Wow. Well, I don't know what to say other than it's about time Congo Kong starts coming to his senses. I mean, who knew Congo Kong was actually a truth teller? You know, I thought for all these years he was a liar, a backstabber, a conniving, monster, Like I said, he's from the jungle, the deepest, darkest parts of the jungle for a reason, okay? He's a monster at heart, but maybe there's a Beauty and the Beast kind of situation here. Maybe he sees the beauty. He's a beast. He sees the beauty and he's looking to redeem his heart. I got his back. I will help him redeem himself. Okay. I know all he needs is someone like me to help him out. And I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to be the hero that he needs. Because you know what? I'm flattered that he said that about me. I really am. Yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna say something nice about Congo Kong. I think everything he said was correct, and I think that he's smart for saying that.
I tell you what, in maybe a different universe, I think you and Kong would be one hell of a tag team.
We already tried that one time, Marcus.
Okay.
I was getting ready to bring it up.
All right.
Last year, they worked 3 matches and told stories from start to end to where they were a tag team to the very last match where they were in a feud, all in one day. Yeah.
Well, Marcus, you skipped over the fact that he was. Well, first of all, I asked. He wasn't a good partner. So, did you forget about that?
Yeah, I guess I did. It's been a year. So.
What? Okay. What am I supposed to do with a partner like him? Huh? Tell me.
Well, you thought you did it, but it didn't work, did it?
No, because he can't be controlled. He's untamable. He's a monster. Don't you understand that? You can't ask me to be Frankenstein, okay? I'm not Dr. Frankenstein, all right? I didn't create this monster. I can only hope to defeat him. Well, maybe not. Maybe I can hope to tame him.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something to look forward to.
You're right.
Do you have any big matches or do you have a big feud that you're in with anybody right now?
Yeah, I'm in a feud with the entire world. I quite frankly can't stand them. Every time I go outside, I get angrier and angrier. I just see the state of the world and I just get more and more possessed with the idea and the thought of defeating them all. So basically, I have just unresenting anger towards the entire society, basically, and I want to defeat them any way I possibly can. So if that means beating their heroes into submission until they cry or they beg and weep. Oh, Nelson, please stop. Oh, nerd. If they call me that, I will come after them. Do you understand me? So my beef is with the whole entire universe. Do you understand me? Until they understand and give me the respect I rightfully deserve. Do you understand me?
Chris, what'd you have to upset him for?
Hey, that wasn't
I think you started it, Tony.
No, he was fine. Hey,
Call up that other guy.
well, yeah, I did bring up the other guy, but he was okay with that. He's the one that wanted to know who he's feuding with now. Got him all upset.
He got his blood boiling just talking about the other guy.
He was happy there towards the end. Okay. Marcus, you got any more questions?
No, mine got kind of covered. It kind of just led into everything else we talked about.
Nelson, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, it's real funny that, everything we've discussed here tonight, because, I, was literally thinking, I wrote these questions down. I said, how do you feel about fans who attack wrestlers who are just trying to entertain? And what should happen to the fan, and how should the worker react? So I accidentally already asked one of my questions. So that's really funny how life kind of circles back. So, yeah, I got another question though. I do have another question, and I want to know what you guys prefer. Do you guys, Kelly? I see your comment. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. At least you have my back. Thank God for you. Because if I didn't have you, I wouldn't have anybody, especially not Marcus. Marcus? You understand me? It's you. You're part of the problem. You're with everybody else. Anyway.
Yeah, Marcus.
What I was going to ask is what do you people, what do you fans, what do you guys look for in wrestling? Do you look more for the entertainment aspect, or do you look more for this guy's doing a whole bunch of moves kind of deal? What do you prefer in a wrestler?
I want entertainment and story first. That's what I want. The moves are moves. And I grew up I'm a lot older than most of the people on the panel. Not Marcus. I'm not too much older than Marcus, but
51.
Yeah, I'm 63, pushing 90. I mean, but 62. Sorry, to finally make myself older. But so I came from a time where there wasn't a lot of outlandish moves, and it was more about holds and just beating the hell out of the guy. So it's more about story, but being entertained. I want to be entertained. That's number one for me. Marcus?
I feel to do a true wrestling event, you need a little bit of everything.
Okay.
You need a couple comedy matches. You need a couple scientific matches. You need maybe one rough, hardcore, no DQ match. And you need to keep your storylines going. So it can be done. I've seen it done. You don't want too much of one thing like they do in Southern Indiana for some reason, where you've got 13 matches and they're all the same. It's just different people playing the game. You kind of want a well-rounded show. You need to have all that on it.
Yeah. What about you, Warren?
I think what I like out of a wrestler is someone that can connect with the fans, because I feel if you connect with the fans, everything else falls into place. You don't have to have a spectacular moveset. You don't need to be flippy floppy. You don't need to be the hard thug. You don't need ground and pound. If you connect with the fans and they see that, I think that really brings everything else into focus and makes it easier.
I agree with you. I think that's one thing that's missing and in wrestling, that a lot of guys don't go out there to try to connect with the fans. They just do what they want to do, and hopefully going to be able to look on the internet and say, oh, he had a 5-star match, or that type of stuff. Go out there and try to connect. I think you're gonna make more money if you do that.
Yeah, because a lot of 5-star matches is not all wrestling.
Yeah.
So,
Chris.
Oh, for me, it's entertainment, storytelling, and selling. Them are the three things that connect with me the most. And that's why I don't watch a whole lot of that. Excuse me. I don't watch a whole lot of AEW because there wasn't as much of the storytelling and the selling. It didn't connect with me as much as if I watch. Some of my favorite matches, there might be 2 or 3 bumps the whole match, but it's because it's entertaining. Like Warren just said, it connects with the crowd. It draws you in. That's what I like, is so whatever it is that draws me in and keeps me connected to it and I'm not ready to turn the TV to find something else to watch, or if I'm at a show, I'm not wanting to get up to go take a bathroom break or go to the concession stand. It has my full attention, and the ones that get my full attention are have a good storyline. It's entertaining, and it has the selling aspect as well, because it feels real. Where I'm not watching a guy take 5 Canadian destroyers and still standing there like nothing happened.
Well, Comic-Con's a perfect example. That crowd was hot from start to finish. You have in some of my top matches, if the crowd is into it, you're going to get a higher score from me, because I love to hear a loud crowd. That just makes part of the make it part real. If you got the crowd yelling, then you're doing something right. If you got a crowd sitting there talking, playing on their phone, and as quiet as ever, you better look into what you're doing, because it ain't right. Because you put on a very good wrestling clinic, but if the fans aren't into it, then you're not putting on a match.
And I mean, that bleeds into, I mean, Nelson, as a talent in the ring, if you've got a loud, hot crowd, how does that make you feel? That makes you feel more and you feel really more into it. Whereas if you got a really dead crowd, you're sort of second guessing and you're like, what's going on? I mean, do you not agree that with a really hot crowd, it really helps you too?
Oh, I'm literally pumped. As soon as the crowd's going, I'm going. You know, it gets my blood going. And if they're not into it, like Marco was saying, there is a problem. See, our whole business is to entertain. If you're on your phone during if someone's on their phone during your match, unless it's like for an emergency or like sending like a quick whatever tech, you know, and blah blah, but they're just actively like scrolling, like, oh, I got something better to do than watch this guy's match. There is something wrong. There's something wrong. Okay. So yes, no, if the crowd is into it, which, you know, thank God, you know, usually they are, you know, that gets me going. That's the whole reason why I do it. You know, I get excited. I'm like, yeah, you know, blah, blah. They really think that this guy stands a chance. Then boom, I took him back down and they all cried. I love hearing that. I mean, it's the whole world to me.
Hey, Nelson, if you're watching a match as a fan, what pulls you in more? Is it entertainment, or is it the wrestling? What pulls you in more as a fan?
I like stories. I miss when wrestling was more raw. I miss when wrestling was more like, oh, this is kind of like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, let's see if we can get away with this. You know, the Jerry Springer kind of era, you know what I mean? Like into the you know, that ruthless aggression kind of era. You know, I miss when, you know, because wrestling at the end of the day, it's fighting. We are literally fighting. We're not holding hands and skipping rope. You know what I mean? You know, we're literally beating the tar out of each other, and one guy overcomes the other. Okay, so I would like some more storytelling. I would like some more, build up to these matches. You know, I miss when guys understood why guys didn't like each other. I don't like when guys are fighting and they're just two buddies or something. You know, I miss when two guys really hated each other. Okay, because I don't like anybody. All right. So when I go out here and I fight these people, I hate them. Okay, I want them to feel the pain, the anguish that I want them to feel. Okay, so when I go out there and I see like, oh yeah, you know, it's whatever, you know, I don't like that, you know, and I like a real nice, fun story, entertaining. So that's what I look for.
Yeah, that's great.
Things.
That's a great point, because in the 80s, with Dusty and the Flair and the Horsemen and Magnum TA and Tully Blanchard, you had and many others had so many great feuds. These dudes hated each other. They wanted to kill each other. If you look in the last few years, I mean, I still love pro wrestling, but if you look at the last few years, there's not, and I'm talking about AEW and WWE, there's not been, I mean, you had Swerve and Hangman. That was a great feud. We had Punk and Drew McIntyre. That was a great feud, but maybe Cody and Roman a little bit, but I mean, not really great killer. Let's kill each other type feuds. I mean, they don't happen anymore, and that really hurts.
Do you think that some of the reason they don't happen anymore is because they rush? They don't let the feuds build up. A lot of times they kind of rush through the storylines. Now I think more now than they used to. I think used to they let the feud build up, where now it's like they're rushing to get to the next thing, and it don't give it enough time for that feud to get as big as they used to in like you're saying.
I think
these 90s.
I think AEW may rush a little bit sometimes. I didn't think they did with Swerve and Hangman necessarily. I thought that was perfect. But I think what hurts WWE is PG. They're not allowed to get violent. You take it to a certain level and you can't go no further. So I think that kills them. I think that kills them.
I think the other thing that's hurting the WWE end is they're too far ahead thinking. I mean, you hear they've already got WrestleMania plans of what don't because you don't know what's going to happen. You need to let this stuff, because now you're very particular with what you've got going on with each month now and each show. Well, because eventually we've got to get to next year at WrestleMania. This is what we need. Don't, let these things happen. One of the greatest arcs and feuds that I will always love was in the Attitude Era of Austin and Rock. That went from Intercontinental title all the way to the championship title, because they never really planned so far ahead as to what's going on, and they let it happen. They let these two guys just do their thing. Throwing the Intercontinental belt in the river, Austin on the Titantron, telling Rock when his beeper beeps 316, it's his ass, and he looks down at his beeper and it does it. And then because that's the thing is and that's what they found, that diamond in the rough with these two guys, these two awesome talents that not only were good wrestlers, but God, their minds were so sharp with what to do. And then you talk about some of the violence in the past. Remember we had DOA and the Nation of Domination and Los Boricuas, and that Raw Attitude Era leading up to the early Ruthless Aggression era was a really great time, because that's what it was. It was just you had that, you felt that these guys hated each other just because the way they came up.
Marcus, you had a point?
Well, it wasn't a point. It was something to go along with what Warren was saying. It came up today that they found the belt in the river this past weekend.
Really?
Yeah. 30 years later, somebody finally located the title. And he brought that up. Like, I got to put that down so I don't forget to say that. So,
oh my God! They revisited that where was it? Rock threw Austin off the bridge. They revisited that down the road where Rock threw Austin off the bridge.
And more, and that's another thing, Warren. Back then, especially during that time, they took chances.
Yeah.
Now I think all pro wrestling right now is really playing it safe. And I mean, I'm not saying they don't take any chances, but not like they were then. I mean, they were taking chances every week, and it showed in the product. Right now, both products, AEW and WWE, is a little stale. I mean, I'm just being honest.
They got small little nuggets, and we'll talk about that Wednesday, people.
Yeah, yes, we will.
Cheap plug.
But yep. Check us out Wednesday. Well, guys, it's almost 8:00. We'll let we really appreciate you coming on with us, Nelson. You're fantastic every time. We definitely want to have you on again sometime. Chris?
Hey, Nelson, before you go, promote yourself. Tell people where they can find you. If you have merch, social media, upcoming shows, any of that stuff.
Yeah, you can find me on all the social media platforms under Nelson, Edwin, Robert, Doolittle, the Fifth, aka it's spelled out Nerd. You make it as you will. And you find me on all the social media platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever it is, everything. So you just let me know. I'm your man.
Again, we appreciate you being on. You're definitely one of my favorite guests. You just knock it out of the park.
Whoa. Did you say one of?
Well, I'll go ahead and say it. You're my favorite guest.
That's what I like to hear. That's a lot better, buddy.
Marcus, what did you make a face when I said that?
You backslid real quick, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure it is.
As he should.
I've never seen you backslide before, have I, Marcus?
I don't, probably.
Oh, Marcus will backslide. Trust me on that. He will backslide. If I say so, he will.
Okay. Well, again, we appreciate you coming on, and we'll definitely give you a call and have you back on again. And we'll let everybody Have a great night and have a great week. Check us out. We got shows tomorrow. Got Gonzo's Sports Room, 10 o'clock, and then me and Warren on at 8 o'clock. Can't think of the name of the show right now. What is it, Warren?
Free count now, baby.
Okay. I'm
That's on.
trying
That's
to
on
remember everything.
Let's give it-
Wednesday night.
And we'll tease. We're gonna talk upcoming Night of Champions. We are gonna talk Forbidden Door, and we're gonna delve more into the mystic unbelievability that is Danhausen.
Yes. Check that out, please. Well, we'll let everybody get out of here and have a
Hang
great
on.
night.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't forget, we will be at the Jay County Fair next Monday night.
Don't
in-
forget, people. It's that simple. Just don't
Yeah,
forget.
don't forget. So we will not be here, but if you see us there, come and say hey.
I could run the
Yes.
show myself, but no one would watch. So
Get hold of Glenn. He'll help you. Just watch him because
Yeah,
he
we
makes the boxes smaller.
we got what, NGW Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, NGW, the Bachelor Memorial, it's Friday and Saturday at the
Friday and
Dub.
Saturday, yes.
So
yes.
rest in peace, Don.
Yes.
This
Yep,
weekend's
most
for you. Yep, and then NGW and FEW, I think, is working in Newcastle. I think.
Newcastle, yes.
Yes.
Newcastle
And
this weekend.
And then Jay County for us on Monday.
Yeah.
And I do want to say that AVW will be back in July, guys. We will be back, and we're going to be stronger and better than ever.
Oh, awesome. Everybody have a great night.
Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube at Gonzo's Sports Room. Check us out on all social media at Gonzo's Sports Room as well. And we'll see you guys next time.
Ladies and gentlemen!
Like a fist! Hit him with the fireball. Hit him with this before, dog.
Chances it's over! Oh! Canadian Destroyer off the top!
She's going to the top, guys.
Nice!
Not dead yet. Super cold red from the top. Now she's up the top. She hits this. It's over.
Well, that's it. Violence. I like violence. You know I am.
Oh, shit, violence!
Did you hear that?
Yes, he threw the trash can right off Jordan Jenkins' head.
Did you hear that?
What? Oh, shit! What a super kick! Yeah! Zay Gage just took IK3's head off! Oh, what a shot!
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
Okay, let's go with